Welcome to the penultimate round of the 2018 HSBC UK National Circuit Series. We're here in Barnsley for a brand new race in the Circuit Series calendar, so we're excited to see what's in store tonight as Matt Gibson, the JLT Condor National Champion, continues to lead the way. Splits appeared from the outset, with the peloton strung out in one long line. The pace was furious too, with an average speed of 45 kilometres an hour clocked. Fred Wright's attack, however, proved to be the decisive move. A break of 6 escaped, including Tobin Horton, Steve Lampier, Rory Townsend, Joey Walker and John Mould. While Pitcock clocked the fastest lap attempting to bridge the gap, the 6 riders had a minute lead with 3 laps to go. Walker, who is from Sheffield, attacked, cheered on by the crowds. He held off the chasers to cross the line first, a hometown hero in front of his family. Mould won the sprint for second, with Horton clinching third. And so that leaves the standings looking like this. While there is work to do to catch JLT Condor man Matt Gibson, who streaks ahead on 98 points, the race for second and third is wide open after Walker's win. He is locked together with 100% Me rider Matt Walls and Madison Genesis sprinter Tobin Horton on 64 points. Tonight's race is on a fast and technical 1.1 kilometre circuit. The race starts and finishes in Church Street, then a sharp right-hand corner onto Eastgate. A technical chicane section over paving stones follows, before another tight corner onto Eldon Street. A sweeping bend up to Market Hill leads into the finishing straight.
I quite like the short, punchy climbs like that, actually, and there's a bit of a chicane on the climb to the finish, which makes it quite a lot harder. So I think it's going to be a race that splits from the back, and you'll end up with a smallish group away of sort of maybe 5 or 10.
Ian, you won on this course at the Nationals in 2015. What does it take to cross the line first here? It's
quite grippy on that climb, it wears everyone down, so I pretty much just sat at the back all race and attacked with a few laps to go. That seemed to work.
Arguably the flatter ones suit me a bit more, but I do enjoy the technical ones. I have to say I enjoy it a bit more once it's got thinned out a bit, and it's a bit easier to stay in position rather than fighting for position the whole time if it's an easier circuit.
So much at stake here tonight in Barnsley, the penultimate round of the Circuit Series. Let's get straight to it with our commentators, James McCallum and first Declan Quigley.
So we're all set to go in the Barnsley Grand Prix. It's round 5, the National Circuit Series, the penultimate round. Steve Lampier, Tom Pitcock, the defending champion in the yellow glasses for Team Wiggins, and the Team Wiggins squad well to the fore. Joey Walker celebrating his recent success. Can he repeat the alchemy? Clearly Team Wiggins mean business tonight.
Yeah, as you say, we can see last year's winner Tom Pitcock there with the yellow glasses. He's very, very keen to be at the front today. He knows what this course is like, having had success in it last year. It's a very, very fast course. This right here is a slight uphill, then we turn off of here and then it drops down very technically to the back of the course.
Yeah, grippy little climb up Market Hill to the finish line, and that's going to test the riders tonight. 8 corners and it's extremely tight. Testing, demanding. It's going to test the technical ability of these riders, and it's certain to stretch the bunch thin. So staying to the fore in the early stages is absolutely critical.
Yeah, we've got a good look at the course there, how it goes from being a pretty wide main road to really narrow back lanes around here in Barnsley. So we've got a big attack here on the right-hand side from 100% Me, looks like, is it Bostock?
Yeah, Matt Bostock has decided to stretch his legs. The series leader, Matt Gibson, the National Circuit Race champion, to the fore in the bunch and just monitoring to see who's showing a little bit of intent. And Team Wiggins clearly are going to put a rider in every single move.
Yeah, it looks like Joey Walker there, obviously riding a high wave of morale after his fantastic win the other day in Sheffield. He's trying to get across here to Bostock, which will give us 2 riders at the front. That's 2 teams that are pretty well represented here tonight as well, so it's going to be interesting to see who's wanting to chase this.
20-year-old Isle of Man rider Matt Bostock is clear of the field by the narrowest of margins as Joey Walker, fresh from his success, if indeed he is fresh, tries to jump across the gap, but it's not going to be any easy job, and JLT Condor could do with a decent result or two, albeit we have had some wonderful performances from series leader Matt Gibson of late.
Yeah, Gibson tonight, if he plays this really well, he can actually wrap up this series overall. So pretty much all he has to do is turn up to Cole and he's got the series in the bag. But you can see straight away there, Tom Stewart from JLT Condor was all over the front of that bunch, and right now he's pushing on to try and bring back Bostock.
Down into the next left-hander as Bostock tries to stay clear of the field. It's a narrow advantage, but you can see the way these twisting, turning chicanes are offering the advantage to the rider who stretches his legs. And JLT Condor want to make sure they stretch this thin, because riders are already being dropped, and I think riders are going to be lapped early on in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to be any further back than 20th in this race. If you are that far back, you're not actually in the race. It's all happening at the front. As you can see, Bostock here is really, really persistent with this move as Tom Stewart's trying to get across that gap. But on the left-hand side, the national champion, Matt Gibson, he said he'd take things into his own hands. Well,
he's got a man just ahead of him, but fancies the chances of making two JLT Condor riders up the road as Tom Stewart just makes the junction with Matt Bostock up front, and Gibson is just about to make it 3, and that's danger signals indeed for the Madison Genesis squad, with Tobin Horton trying to close the gap. Vitus Pro Cycling well to the fore as well.
Well, they say offence is the best defence, and definitely Matt Gibson here tonight with those stripes on his chest, he wants to represent, he wants to show everyone that the national champion is here, and he's here to try and win this bike race.
Well, still it's a decent sized group up front, but the advantage is minimal to say the least. Now we've got Isaac Monday from the Madison Genesis squad who steals a little look over his shoulder to see what kind of damage he's done. The damage is significant to say the least, as there are plenty of cracks in there.
Yeah, he's absolutely railing it around those corners we've just seen through that really technical chicane on the back straight. He's now opened up a nice little gap here, but it's going to be interesting to see who's going to chase this, because Monday's of no risk to anyone on the overall, so could he potentially slip away here and maybe get this win?
Isaac Monday attempts to stretch his legs, the 23-year-old who finished 5th in this equivalent event 12 months ago, albeit it wasn't part of the National Circuit Series on that occasion, but he's showing that he certainly likes this circuit.
Yeah, you can see straight away his team captain Tobin Horton just rolls to the front as they hit this small climb up to the finishing straight again. They're now going to take the short chicane through up towards the start finish. Monday is giving this full bore up here.
So Isaac Monday has got some daylight. For the first time we're seeing a rider who's put the length of a straight between himself and the bunch behind, and Monday has another look over his shoulder. He's anxious, I think, to see whether any riders are coming across. We did have Tobin Horton monitoring affairs, and Liam Davies well to the fore as well, but now it looks as if John Mould has decided to stretch his legs. The man from Newport in South Wales cranks it over through that right-hander and is going to try and make the difficult and arduous junction up to this man, Isaac Monday, up front.
Yeah, Monday looks like he's starting to suffer a little bit now and really could do with some company. No one better to have company on a course like this than John Mould, that's for sure.
John Mould looks like he's going to skate across the gap, the 27-year-old. He's pretty good form so far this year. He's got a couple of second-place finishes in the National Circuit Series. Second in the Sheffield Grand Prix just a few short days ago. Second on home soil in Abergavenny at the beginning of this series as well. So still waiting for the win, and John Mould wants it tonight.
Hey, but I tell you what, Team Wiggins are all over this tonight. They've not missed a single move so far. They've got a lot of talent in that team. Right now they're riding a huge wave of morale, a huge wave of excitement for these races, because they've got Tom Pitcock, previous winner, as well as Joey Walker on top form right now.
So two solo riders become one as Madison Genesis and JLT Condor become cohorts in battle, and in the battle to try and stay clear of Team Wiggins as they put a rider into the chase behind. And Monday really does fly through those bends, and Mould just plays it a little bit more cautiously and has a little look over his shoulders as he slides down and onto the wheel of a charging Isaac Monday. And Monday has a little bit of a gap, and Mould is waiting, I think, to see are these riders coming across.
Yeah, Mould just having a little look over his shoulder. They're showing the experience of a rider who's done these races for the best part of the last 5 to 10 years. He's done every race in these circuit series. He knows the loops, he knows his adversaries, he knows how to race these races, that's for sure.
Team Wiggins with the riders to the 4-1 Pro as well want to make sure that they're very much involved up front. That's Jacob Scott that's starting to close these riders in, and John Mould, having had a little look, has now started to charge on. He fancies this one.
I tell you what, he's wanting to be on the front foot tonight. He knows how difficult this circuit is, and he knows that he wants to be in the front. But on the front of the bunch, it's Jacob Scott, 1 Pro Cycling, again followed by Team Wiggins rider Joey Walker.
It's such a technical and demanding circuit, and that's what's making it doubly advantageous to stay well to the fore. This little leg stretcher with the chicane through to the finish line is serving to make it extremely challenging, and so many riders are being dropped. We're seeing Andy Tennant now starting to show for the Canyon Iceberg squad, and bringing a couple of riders from Team Wiggins, including the most prominent and current champion of this event, indeed, Tom Pitcock. Took the victory 12 months ago, and he's just lurking in 4th place at the moment.
Yeah, lurking's exactly the right word, Declan. We've not seen an awful lot of him so far tonight, but when you see him starting to edge his way forward, you can tell he's got something up his sleeve, that's for sure. Well,
JLT Condor will want to do something about that. The battle is joined between the JLT Condor, the Team Wiggins squads, One Pro as well to the fourth, and Canyon Iceberg also starting to show as the top teams are starting to gravitate towards the front.
Yeah, it's right back through this real technical left-right chicane. Jacob Scott just coming to the front, trying to maybe take a bit of control back of the race. It's been pretty frantic the last few laps, and sometimes the best place to be and get a rest is actually on the front. If you can see just the damage that even just going through these corners at a mellow pace is shown. Everyone's having to pin it round there, right around this corner, and Scott will be looking over his shoulder to see what's happening behind him.
Well, what's happening is that Tom Stewart is going to take it up for the JLT Condor squad with Andy Tennant in his wheel, and the combined forces of Team Wiggins well to the fore as well. Madison Genesis have Tobin Horton, who's on absolutely flying form. He's been consistently in the top 10 in these events over the past few weeks, and he's also pretty keen to see what he can do. It's a reduced group that are still together and still waiting for a significant attack to last.
Time now for a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll find out who will cross this finish line first on a very testing course after this. Welcome back to this brand new race in the calendar, the Barnsley Town Centre races. The action well underway. We'll get straight back to it.
It's a large but dwindling group up front that are controlling things, and a lot of riders are starting to feel the pinch a little bit. Indeed, this group is dwindling in size rapidly as a lot of riders are being eliminated from the back. It's JLT Condor that are controlling it on the front, but One Pro want to get involved in the action.
Yeah, Jacob Scott knows what he has to do tonight. He's here pretty much on his own tonight, flying solo, but he's giving it full beans up here up the home straight. You see Andy Tennant there, big massive acceleration in the saddle, trying to pull it all back together.
Yeah, and Tobin Horton had to make a big effort, didn't he, to get back into the wheels, as that was a decent contribution from Jacob Scott. He stretched it thin, hasn't managed to establish an advantage, so he goes again to see if these three can stay off the front.
Yeah, the next man round that corner right away is the national champion, Matt Gibson. He wants to be about this tonight. As I said before, he can seal this tonight. If he gets anywhere in the top 3, he can actually win this series overall tonight. So he's going to be very vigilant and want to be in there at the sharp end at the end.
Yeah, he's on absolutely flying form. 7th in the last round in Sheffield, missing the big move going up the road, but sprinting in ahead of the bunch. Leading the series, got a 2nd place, 3rd place, and a 3rd place from the 3 rounds of late, and of course a triple of wins on 1 week, just coming a couple of weeks ago, that included the National Circuit Race Championship. So he's doing well in road racing, he's doing well in the criteriums, and now he's on the attack, trying to see can he open up a decisive advantage. Now it's time to get going. The National Circuit Race Champion, Matt Gibson, is on the charge.
Hey, I tell you what, Declan, he is a man riding with absolute confidence tonight. It's amazing the difference it makes when you pull on those stripes of being national champion. You always gain an extra 5-10%, and you can see that with Gibson tonight. His body language, he's here to dominate, he's here for the results, and he wants to sew up this series overall.
Well, the 21-year-old from Lim and Cheshire has made a few riders suffer there. They'll be breathing a little bit heavier, but not, it would appear, Tom Pitcock, the man from Yorkshire, has decided to have a little look under his elbow to see if this is going to work, and indeed it has. He's managed to stretch an advantage, and they all move and look around each other to see who's going to do the chasing. Tom Pitcock has gone on the charge.
And it was an absolutely searing attack up the home straight as he takes that really tight hairpin round the corner. He's going full gas down here. He is absolutely committed, and already he's got a 5-second lead just through that one corner.
Well, the 18-year-old former National Circuit Race Champion, and indeed former World Junior Cyclocross and Individual Time Trial Champion. He's in his element on this course. He's won here before. He's in Yorkshire, and look at that. He really throws it through those corners. His technical abilities are only matched indeed by his athletic performance, and Tom Pitcock has really put it up to them here.
It's an absolute pleasure to watch. You can see him just through that hairpin there. Really just pinning every corner, hitting every apex. This young lad has got you can run out of superlatives for this lad to describe just how talented and how impressive he is, but tonight he's shown us exactly what he's made of.
Yeah, second to Robert Scott in what was a Team Wiggins celebration finish in Skipton a couple of weeks ago in round 3 indeed, and he's won a Tour Series round in Wembley Park already this season, so he's going well on the, and that was a dodgy moment, wasn't it, for Tom Stewart as he touched a pedal, and that just shows you how tight and twisty this course is.
Yeah, it also shows how important it is for them that they know that he cannot let Tom Pitcock get up the road. They have to nail it, get it back, pull him in, and not allow him to get any further than he's already up the road. If they don't do that now, they may never see him again to the finish.
Well, we're at the point where a lot of riders have made a lot of efforts, and how many riders are willing to continue these efforts? How many riders are capable of it? One rider is Matt Gibson, the National Circuit Race champion and series leader, has a little go out of the saddle, has a little look around and sees that that move has been covered, so he's not going to be given some daylight to see can he move across to Tom Pitcock. Will he persevere with the effort to try and close him down? Pitcock racing solo and starting to stretch his advantage. The Team Wiggins rider is absolutely flying.
I said at the top of the show, but Team Wiggins tonight have came with a plan. They've been all over, you can see right here, all over the front of this bunch. They're not letting Matt Gibson get a single inch on the bunch. They're basically controlling everything right now. They're on the back of everything, monitoring and policing, just trying to make sure that their team leader, Tom Pitcock, can get up the road and take this win.
Well, Fred Wright from 100% Me just tried his luck there to see could he get a little bit of daylight between himself and the rest of the group. That wasn't forthcoming and has served to keep Tom Pitcock on something of a shorter leash than it was. But you know what? His progress is relentless and he's only stretching his advantage. And look at how fast he's able to get through these corners. He really lays it over and flies. He's back on the pedals incredibly quickly. The confidence and the balance and the poise is really a sight to behold. But tell you what, Gibson's pretty handy through these corners as well, and look what he's doing to this group behind.
Yeah, absolutely railing it through there, Matt Gibson. He's really desperate now to make sure he can pull this gap back to Pitcock, but it now looks like he's now taking up lap traders.
Yeah, that's a group of riders who've been called ashore because Tom Pitcock has put a full 1.1 kilometre lap on them. That has been the measure of his progress. Those are very strong riders that have not been able to complete the Barnsley Grand Prix. But you know what? Tom Pitcock wants to complete it. He wants to complete it and carry that Dossard #1 all the way through to the top step of the podium. At the moment, Madison Genesis, Team Wiggins and JLT Condor, well, less so Team Wiggins, they're just monitoring, aren't they? As Joey Walker, the most recent victor of a round of this series, is just getting in among those riders and trying to upset their progress a little.
And they're doing a fantastic job. Tom's gap is now just over 45 seconds, and on a course with this kind of shape, with the really short straights, he is out of sight, out of mind. So what's going to happen now is it's going to be a race of 2 races. Tom is looking very secure here. He's got 2 laps to go, but in the bunch, they're going to be thinking about the points. They're going to be thinking about the overall series. As we see rider on the right-hand side there, Tobin Horton, Madison Genesis moving up.
Well, just a little over 2 kilometres for these riders with the Madison Genesis squad. They've Isaac Mundy and Tobin Horton well to the fore and in with a great shout of a decent result. But is anyone going to get on terms with Tom Pitcock? He's surely home and hosed now. He's got to keep this one together. He'll continue to stomp on the pedals in that aggressive and busy style. But what an athlete this man is, and what a prospect he is for the future. It seems that he can do absolutely everything. Road racing, time trialling, cyclocross, of course, at the very highest level. The under-23 World Cup champion from the 2017-2018 season, and now he's heading, it would appear, to victory in Barnsley for the 2nd consecutive year. He's down to the final 1.1 kilometre lap.
Tell you what, there's absolutely no drop in the pace and the intensity to which Tom Pitcock is riding tonight. There's not even a single bit of chink in his armour tonight. He's been all over this, made a fantastic move roughly midway through this race, holding now over 45 seconds to the bunch. Failing disaster, this is in the bag for Pitcock.
He's a pocket rocket, and he's only throttled it back ever so slightly now as he prepares to celebrate and prepares perhaps his victory speech, but he can't take anything for granted. He'll continue to pedal on towards glory, but the advantage is surely enough for Tom Pitcock to think about what it means to be a double champion in the Barnsley Grand Prix. Meanwhile, behind, JLT Condor are going to try and set this one up for the national champion, Matt Gibson, to try and add to his points total and perhaps indeed all but secure the title. Gibson well to the fore. They're thinking about second.
Yeah, you can just see the pressure on there on the home straight from Tom Stewart. really stretching out that bunch and holes appearing everywhere. They want to make sure they deliver Gibson up here to get second place. But Pitcock, now coming up to the finishing straight, this young lad looks like he's got it in the bag.
Tom Pitcock up Market Hill for the final time. What a consummately professional performance it's been for a man who is now just in his first year as a senior elite rider. The Team Wiggins rider is going to take the victory. He's going to make it 2 successes in successive events for Team Wiggins. It's thumbs up for Team Wiggins, thumbs up indeed for Yorkshire, and indeed for Tom Pitcock as he rolls around the road and has so much time to compose his victory celebration. Tom Pitcock is going to be our winner, and he's going to celebrate cyclocross style. Look at Tom Pitcock take the plaudits of the crowd and take victory in the Barnsley Grand Prix. All too easy it appears. I tell you what, that's not as easy as it looks, and I'm not just talking about the wheelie. Looking through to the group behind as the lead out's coming from Tom Stewart for Matt Gibson, and JLT Condor controlling this one through to the finish as Tobin Horton tries to get involved with the Madison Genesis squad, but Gibson will surely come around his teammate, as indeed he does, and he'll hang on for second place as Tobin Horton is well to the fore as well, and Tom Stewart hung on, I think, as well for a 4th place finish.
Yeah, unbelievable finish there from Pitcock, and we can see here the young lad's got the skills to pay the bills as he pops this one-handed wheelie all the way up the finishing straight. Absolute class act.
Well, he's already a superstar, isn't he? And I tell you what, he's going to become a household name in the world of cycling within a couple of years. He's already a hero to so many, and certainly he's a hero in Barnsley. For the 2nd successive year, Tom Pitcock takes the win. Pitcock gets the win ahead of Gibson and Horton. Stewart makes it good points for JLT Condor. Bostock, Walker, Kerfoot, Robson, Campbell, Stewart, Rory Townsend and Fred Wright round out the top 10.
Everyone was attacking each other towards the start, and this is a course where if you're away it's not much harder than when you're in a group because there's so many corners. So I just thought if I attack at the right time when you know, like the stronger riders like Gibson and the Madison guys have been attacking, then I'd be able to get away and then hopefully stay away. And luckily the race was only 47 minutes, so I didn't have to stay out there for too long.
So after 5 rounds of racing and just 1 round to go, here's how the overall standings look. Matt Gibson, the national champion for JLT Condor, maintains his lead at the top and with a 36-point advantage over Tobin Horton, wraps up the series for a 2nd year in a row. Horton lies 2nd with 90 points, Joey Walker 3rd for Team Wiggins, Matt Bostock and Matt Wools 4th and 5th for 100% Me, while Tom Pitcock has jumped up to 6th. A sensational solo win for Tom Pitcock of Team Wiggins, while Matt Gibson's JLT Condor continues to lead the series with just 1 round remaining. That event is in Cologne on the 25th of July, so why not join us roadside for an incredible night of fast racing. For everything else from cycling, head to britishcycling.org.uk. But from us here tonight in Barnsley, bye for now and see you next time.